All right, now to the Rams. We saw they had a hard-fought game versus the Eagles this last week, losing 23-14 to them in a game where they put up a good fight. I'd say it was a hard fight. The Eagles are a team that doesn't quite separate from teams just yet, but they find ways to win and found a way to win yet again this last weekend. But the Rams did put up a valiant effort, keeping things close for as long as they could, and yeah, they almost got the job done. So with that being the case, looking at things going forward, happy that Kupp's back in the building. Love the dynamic of him and Puka and what could be with them. We saw also after the game, they pretty much immediately after seeing that those two work, were like, all right, Dan, you can go, bro. Like, we're good. So Dan got traded to the Falcons for a pick or something like that. And we now have a more set receiving core with our top dogs. And just it's all rounded out as it should. So excited for what is going to be on the way with them. But looking at the squad, obviously, again, we're sitting at 2-3. We've had some tough losses, but we're still a team that we discussed can be a playoff team, right, and could be make a sneaky push if things fall in line right. So looking at the roster, in order to do that, what area do you think is most needs to be addressed to make that real playoff push?
Yeah, like as you mentioned, the offense appears to be set. Like they feel comfortable enough in the receiving core that they're willing to trade away Van Jefferson, who wasn't getting much run. So they got Stafford, they got Kupp and Nacua, they've got Kyron Williams, who's been all they could ask for. They can maybe bring in another running back to kind of be a change of pace. But for me, I think it's the defensive side where the defense has been solid. Like they haven't been great, they haven't been bad. But I think potentially either like at the linebacking spot or how Jalen Ramsey was kind of the quarterback of the defense at the safety spot. Just somewhere of significance on that defensive back end to where they can be kind of the new quarterback of that defense, the leader of that defense. Obviously, you have Aaron Donald still there at defensive tackle, but typically it's more of like the middle linebacker that's kind of pointing out where everyone needs to be and the one that's the captain of that defense. So potentially a position like that. Yeah.
It's very tough how things play out because we had, as you said, we had Bobby Wagner, we had Jalen Ramsey, both in the building, and they left because things didn't quite click here, and it seemed like we were going to head into a rebuild with things. But now that the team actually has some talent, the two things that we're missing are the two guys that left, and they left very clear spaces in our defense, and now we're trying to fill this void in other ways, and are still trying to figure that out. So it's tough that they're no longer in the building for us. We'll do have to find other ways, other pieces that now can step up in their absence. So we'll see. We'll see. I know Kobe Durant is kind of getting stuffed in this picture. My apologies. I was trying to find another one that was better, but it is what it is right now. I know he's getting stuffed in this one, but he has been a good piece, and we do have others back there that have been service-wise. We said we have kept things close in most of our games. So if we can't find another piece that can fully cement this defense as a team that can fully, or at least somewhat more slow down these high-powered offenses that are all across the league, that definitely can make us much more of a threat. So interesting to see how that plays out. And yeah, I agree with you just in that, in regards to that question about those pieces being the ones that are missing there, because those are the question marks as well going into the season. Like, are we going to see our defense step up with the new guys in the building, with all the young guys there behind Aaron Donald? And they are doing a decent job, and now as we're a team that seems like we can make a push, we need to be a little bit better than decent. So we'll see what we can do about that. So interesting things with that. As we also addressed, Puka Kupp's now back on the field and seemed to have hit the ground rolling. Like he seemed like he was ready to go this weekend. Looked good paired up with Puka Nacua, who has been a breakout star for this first month of the season so far. And glad to see how they both are starting to mesh already this last weekend. With them doing it as they are, can Puka still be on track for Offensive Rookie of the Year with Kupp there, or you think Kupp kind of slows down that noise because he's going to get more of the attention?
I think it'll be tough for him to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's off to an extremely blistering pace, but I think it's more so because of the other guys that'll be up for the award too, like a CJ Stroud or Achane, which he might be hitting the IR, so he might be kind of out of contention there.
Real quick. This is not.
I don't know where you're going with.
This is not about him, but I got Mostert, so appreciate that. Fam.
Oh, come on, man. It's not fantasy. This is real life, man.
I know. Say it. Thanks.
But yeah, I think it more so will be because of those other competitors, not as much because of Cup. Like we saw this past week against the Eagles, Cup had 12 targets, Puka had 11 targets. Like he's right there with them. This offense and the Rams and McVay and Stafford know how to spread the ball around to two competent receivers. Like they had Cup. He mentioned they had Cup and Woods before, so they're accustomed to dealing with two high level receivers in one offense. And I think they will spread the ball around, spread the love around. Puka is still number 1 in receptions and number 2 in receiving yards. So if he's like still top 3 by the end of the year, he'll be a lock. But I don't think he'll be top 3 for both those categories. But he will still be high. But it's just going to be tough sledding against a guy like C.J. Stroud or another rookie QB potentially that pops. But yeah.
I had the same thought because again, we all the hype was about these Bijan and CJ and all of that heading into the season.
As well too,
They've lived up to the expectation already. So what type of indication it's going to be hard to get ahead of them. But he is putting up enough volume that and deserves of attention that the Rams keep winning and he keeps up that 11-12 target rate. He definitely can steal that award from them. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Rooting for him and excited to have another piece alongside Kupp that can step up as need be. We were worried about how this team was going to recover after Odell left the building and after Robert Woods went down and all that kind of stuff. And we saw last year there was a struggle, but seeing that we have another guy and Puka, and salute to even Tutu Atwell, who's a nice third too. Salute to them. But seeing that we have guys next to Kupp that can lighten the load a little bit for Cooper, it definitely is appreciated and excited to see how this offense can blossom now with them both on the field there. So good stuff.
Puka noted too that like having Kupp back in the offense, just his presence makes it easier for him too. So like there is, if anything, I think it potentially helps him. I don't think it hurts him because the volume it appears will still be there.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So happy about that, and again, salute to him for what they continue to do. Looking beyond that, anything else with the Rams you want to address?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, we talked about the trade of Van Jefferson to the Falcons. So that was kind of like the major news for this Rams team.
So quickly with the Rams, good stuff. Definitely let us know anything else you want to talk about with the Rams, and we'll be sure to address it when we can, or just meet you in the comments as we do and have the discussion there. So salute to them and what's going on.